Hello everyone, and welcome to the Beginner's Guide to Gamification, episode number 3. This is Chou,
and I am here to turn you from gamification beginner into gamification master.
Today we're going to talk more about what makes games fun. Because games are definitely not fun just because they have game elements or game mechanics. If you think about it, all games have these things, right? But most games aren't fun.
Games are fun because they appeal to our core drives. After years of research, I have deducted into 8 main core drives of what makes game fun. I'll go into a lot more detail on all these core drives and how they're applied to gaming as well as the business world in later episodes, but this is just a general introduction to what those core drives are, as they are very, very important in my framework Octalysis. The first core drive is epic meaning and calling. Epic meaning and calling is when people are doing something that's bigger than themselves, that they are doing something that brings meaning to their life, that they are called to do it, that they are contributing to the human race. Epic meaning and calling is the core drive that makes people want to participate in Wikipedia. People contribute to Wikipedia not because they get paid for it or because they can build their resumes or, build a better status in any way. It's because they have a higher purpose. They are building the human race's knowledge. They're making the human race smarter. And so they see themselves as guardians to human knowledge. And that is a higher purpose that's bigger than themselves. Hello. I'm filming you. You're in a...
I still know you.
You know me or you don't know me?
Yes, I do. Remember I was in your car.
But what's my name?
I forgot your name.
Oh, but then so you don't know me.
But I was in your car with my sister.
But when you're in my car doesn't mean you know me. If you're on a bus driver's car, in a bus, you don't necessarily know the bus driver. The next drive is develop an accomplishment. This is basically the drive to want to have progress, to want to hit more and more milestones, feel like you're going somewhere, and ultimately achieving a goal, overcoming challenges. Dude, why am I such a clumsy walker? Like, I can't walk straight. I suck at walking. I guess that's how everyone's different. Some people are good at gamification, and some people are good at walking. And this is what most games or gamification products use with their badges and leaderboard and points, basically saying, hey, I just got more points. I just leveled up. That's what RPG uses, and that's very, very common. The next core drive we're going to look at is empowerment of creativity and feedback. So I believe that humans are by nature creative, and they want to utilize their creative capacity. So when you give them tools to try out their creativity, try out different combinations, and also show them feedback, show them, hey, what is the result of your creativity? Did you accomplish your goals more? Do things look prettier? Then people have a motivation to do it. And that is why things like Lego are really, really popular, because they help kids expand their minds. They're building things. They see what they create and they can play with it. They're building their own toys. And because of this empowerment of creativity and feedback, we get to see people constantly engage and never getting bored. The name of this restaurant makes absolutely no sense. I think their strategy is that if Americans come here, they're like, oh, Obama, I like Obama, I'm gonna eat here. And then if the British come here, they're gonna be like, oh, British, I'm gonna eat here. And Africans come here, and they'll be like, I'm African, I'm gonna come here. Very amazing strategy. The fourth core drive is ownership and possession. That is the drive to own something, to want something, and when you have something, you want to protect it.
Whoa, look, I'm ripped.
So if you look at a game like Farmville, right? You own a farm, you own crops, you own cows, and you care about it. Once you have that ownership, that feeling attached, what you want to do is to protect it, to get more and make your farm even better, right? It's not just good enough to have the cow. Now you have to get 2 cows, 3 cows, and when you have 3 cows, you have to have the little house for the cows, right? And so that is a strong drive. The key to wanting more and more and more, and that's what drives people.
What's your name?
My name is Yukai.
Oh yeah.
What's your name?
Eva.
Eva, that's a nice name. The fifth core drive of gamification is social pressure. This is something that you guys probably know very, very well. Social pressure goes from anything like peer pressure, your friends telling, hey, you gotta do this, to implicitly wanting to not look bad in front of friends, to wanting to catch up to friends, catching up with the Jones, right? Hey man, what's up? You look like you could be interested in gamification. Yeah? It's pretty interesting. You know Octalysis? You know the 8 core drives? It's human-focused design. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. You're a lizard, not a human. Sorry about that. Okay. When you're in a game and you see someone, a friend of yours, be much higher leveled and maybe they're mentoring you, first of all, you create a bond through that mentorship. But at the same time, there's some envy. You're like, hey, one day I want to be like that too. And that motivates people to take action in many, many, many ways. Social pressure is very, very powerful. Hey. Nice hair. The sixth core drive of gamification is scarcity and impatience. Scarcity is the drive where you want something just because you can't have it. Like if grapes were in a bowl on the table, you might not want to eat the grapes. You don't care about them. But suddenly, if you place these grapes somewhere where you can't get to, you're just looking at it, suddenly you want the grapes. You're like, oh, you're thinking about the grapes all the time. Basically, wanting something just because you can't have it. That's scarcity and impatience. And a lot of games apply these things. They make you want something. Oh, this must symbolize some type of symbol. And they purposely say, well, you can't have it. You have to accomplish these things first. You have to wait for 2 more days before you can have it. And that's when people get really impatient. Like, hurry! Oh, I want it! And that's oftentimes when they pay for virtual goods, or they just think about it all day long, and they keep logging back in just to see if they have it yet. And that, again, is one of the very powerful core drives in human psychology, and that's why in gamification. The 7th core drive of gamification is
Predictability and curiosity.
Thanks, random guy who works at Wheelworks.
unpredictability and curiosity. Means that because something does not fit into a pattern that you can immediately recognize, because you're not sure what's going to happen next, you're constantly thinking about it, you're engaging more. And sometimes that's the core drive that makes people want to read a novel, they want to watch a movie. Once they figure out what's going to happen, what's the ending of it, it's no longer interesting, right? It's no longer fitting to that core drive. Maybe they still want to finish it because of development and accomplishment, but they do not want to do it because it intrigues them anymore. So that's a very, very important drive to think about. The last and final core drive of gamification is loss and avoidance. This is when people do things to avoid a loss. And this happens a lot in gaming where first of all, if you don't play it well, if you don't take the actions, you're gonna die. Your character's gonna die. You're gonna lose progress. You're going to lose points, right? This is where you pick your entrees. This is where you pick your wreaths. And this is where you pick your poison. On a heavier scale, if you poured in 1,000 hours into a game, now you don't want to quit, because if you quit, you'll have to admit what I call the sunk cost tragedy. Basically, all that time would be wasted, and you have to feel the emptiness and the pain of just wasting 1,000 hours on something. So you might as well just keep playing, and as long as you're constantly playing, what you build up from before is not lost, right? You can use those points. And so that is a really, really powerful core drive in gamification and motivates a lot of behavior.
And that's it.
Now that you know about all 8 core drives in gamification, in the next few episodes, I'm going to explain to you about what are the right brain core drives, what are the left brain core drives, what's white hat gamification, what's black hat gamification, and how to really utilize them all together in a constant framework, again, called octalysis. Yes, that's exactly it. So this concludes the Beginner's Guide to Gamification, episode
Number 3.
Going into Stealth Mode. That's right, you can't see me anymore. Stealthy.